Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about how to manifest from the soul. And guys, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out and helps the channel grow, and I really appreciate it. I am also selling these little notebooks on my Etsy store, so I will link that down below if you want to check it out. And I also want to do a little comment of the week because you guys have been so nice and kind in the comment section, and I just really want to like highlight it, bring attention to it, and just kind of let you know how grateful I am for that. Okay, so manifesting from the soul. What that basically means is that you're manifesting from your heart instead of your ego. Manifesting from your ego is a really quick and easy way to get yourself really frustrated and just basically into a really unhappy place when it doesn't happen, because when you manifest from the ego, it just takes way longer, and it's also just like, and it's also one of those things where even if it does manifest, you're not actually going to be as happy as you think you would be. Because when you're manifesting from the ego, you're essentially manifesting from what other people want. You're manifesting from a place where it's just beliefs and ideals that's been imprinted on you throughout your life by society, by your parents, by your peers, and you're manifesting things that you think you should want. You're manifesting things that you think everybody should want because it was like kind of ingrained into you. But manifesting from your ego, even if you do get it, you're not going to be as happy as you think. And I have a little story that I'm going to share later on regarding that. So you might be like, how can I know if I'm manifesting from my heart or if I'm manifesting from my ego? And the easiest way to tell is by asking yourself why. Why do you want this thing? If you're like, oh, I want it so I can like impress other people, or because I want to like make my parents happy, or whatever it is, then that usually means you're manifesting from the ego. You're doing it to please others. You're doing it because you think it's what you should want. It's what society has made you think you should want. Manifesting from the heart, you can tell if you ask yourself, why do I want this thing? And you're like, because this is what I was truly put on this earth to do, and it is what would make me truly happy and satisfied. When I wake up every single day, I'd be so joyous and so grateful because this is my true purpose. And some of you might be like, well, I don't necessarily have a true purpose. I don't necessarily have something that that I'm like drawn to like that. I don't really know what I want. And that means that you just need to sit down and do some soul searching and kind of figure out what it is that you actually want, because that means you've kind of lost touch with your inner child and what you really want. Because when you're younger, we all kind of knew what we wanted to do, and we all had like an idea of what would make us happy. But a lot of the times when you're a child, you know, the things that you think you want, these things change a lot, and part of that is the experience. You know, you grow, you change. You no longer want to be like a nurse or whatever you did when you were a young child. But a lot of it is actually just societal pressure. And you're like picking up all these beliefs as you grow up. Belief systems from your parents, from outside influences, that's really making you think you want certain things when you truly don't. And the reason it's so important to sit down and like figure out what it is that you really want deep down is because if you're manifesting from other people's perspective, if you're manifesting things that everybody else wants for you, once you get it, you're not going to be happy. And I'm going to bring up a little example. I was talking to like one of my old interns the other day. Actually, like came back to visit, and he was saying how like, because when he worked for us, he was like, you know, younger, he was like in college and whatever. And actually when I knew him back then, he always seemed to be a really happy person. Obviously I don't like know for sure, but that's just how it seemed. But he was talking about how recently he did graduate from school and he did start working a full-time job, and he said that he did feel a little bit of this emotion where he was like, you know, I have everything I want. I've worked so hard throughout my school, so throughout my college years to get to where I am now, and now I have a great job that pays well and I have all the things that I want, but why don't I like feel like happy and 100% like satisfied? And that is because we are like trained, we're ingrained to believe that you go to school, if you graduate, if you get a good job, if you have money, if you have a stable, safe life, then you're gonna be happy and you're gonna feel fulfilled and satisfied. When that is just not the case. So many people out there are unhappy even though they technically have what most people would think would make them happy, money, stability, wealth, whatever it is. But then they're just not. They're not happy, they're not satisfied because it isn't what they truly want deep down in their hearts and in their soul. And it's sad because sometimes you don't realize that until you get there, and you don't like learn this until it happens, and you spend your whole life chasing after something, and then once you get it, you're like, you feel really like almost betrayed because you're like, I don't understand, like I thought this was supposed to make me super happy. But that's because you're actually at your happiest when you're making progress, not when you're at the destination, which sounds weird. But if you're like, say you're trying to lose weight, right, and you have a goal weight in mind, you're actually happier during the process of losing weight when you're making progress every week than you are at the end goal. Because at the end goal, you might be like, oh, I'm so excited, I'm so happy, I finally reached my goal. But then immediately after that, what happens? Your mind will set a new goal. And that's human nature. We are always wanting a little bit more for ourselves, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It's just that whenever we think certain milestones or certain material items will make us happy, it is a very disappointing process because it can make you happy for, you know, a couple weeks, a couple months, even if it's a big thing that you've accomplished. But after one point, hedonic adaptation sets in and it becomes a part of your normal life, and it doesn't feel so new anymore. Let's say you buy a new car and you're so excited, you're so happy for maybe a couple months, maybe a few months, but then that car, it becomes part of your life. You have this car, it's your car. It's not new, it's not special anymore, it's just normal. It's your new normal. And it just can't bring you the kind of joy that you expected it to. And ultimately, true happiness and true gratification comes from within. So when you're trying to manifest, really, the first thing you have to do is sit down and figure out what it is that you truly want. Because A, it's gonna happen so much faster when you're doing what you were kind of put on this earth to do, when you're doing your true purpose. And a lot of people will be like, I don't know what that is. But I think deep down, intuitively, most of you will know if you're on the right path or not. It can be difficult if you've kind of like ignored your intuition for so long that maybe it doesn't speak to you as much or as loudly. But I think deep down, you always know if you're on the right track or not. And you always know every decision that you make. You know if it's taking you closer to your true purpose and your true path, or if it's taking you away from it. And I think it's really important to kind of start listening to that again and to fine-tune what will make you truly happy and satisfied, because so many people end up just kind of going through the motion and just not finding true fulfillment because they're seeking it like externally. They think that things that they can manifest into their lives will make them happy, but it never works like that. You have to be happy first. You have to find all of those feelings of excitement and joy first. And then all the things that will give you more excitement and more joy will come into your life. Because remember, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. So whatever energetically you're vibrating at, you're going to attract what's going to make you feel more of that. So if you're happy, if you're grateful, if you're content, you're going to attract things that makes you happier, makes you more grateful. But if you're like, you know, if you're angry, if you feel like you're lacking things, if you feel sad, if you feel like jealousy, like these kinds of negative emotions, then again, you're going to attract more things that's going to make you feel more jealous. It's going to make you feel more unfulfilled. So it's so important to kind of sit down and like look inwards. That's why meditation is so important, and that's why it's so important to try and like really have a heart-to-heart with yourself and sit down and really figure out what it is that you want, and not what society wants or what your parents want or what your friends want. You really have to figure out what's gonna make you feel happy and satisfied. Okay, that's it for today's little video. I hope you liked it. If you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you want to see next, and I will see you next time. Bye!